Rob Zombie. It's my cameraman's day off, sorry. Anyway, yeah, Rob Zombie. I've always been a huge fan of his, you know. I think he's a very talented guy. I've always loved his music, whether it be, you know, with White Zombie, or, you know, his own band. He's got some truly great songs, and in my opinion, I feel like he took horror and put it in a musical format very, very well. His music is like the audio equivalent of a horror movie, which is just awesome. He even uses a lot of sound clips from horror films, like Last House on the Left, for example, and several others, which is awesome, you know, which is friggin' awesome. And so, figures that he would eventually direct his own horror movie, which he did in 2003, House of a Thousand Corpses. His directorial debut, for a feature film, that is. I think he directed music videos before, but yeah, I've been getting a lot of requests to do this one. A lot of people wanted to see me review this movie, and I'm surprised I haven't already. You know, I mostly review the classics, but I think this one has, you know, enough in common with, you know, the classic horror films that it definitely fits in well with my channel. Plus, it's one of my favorite horror movies ever. You know, definitely one of my favorites of the more modern age, of it, like the newer, kind of, you know, the newer ones. Even though this is 15 years old now, but you know, it is a post-2000 movie, which I kind of consider that the modern age. You know, post-2000. But anyway, let's get right to it. The basic plot is, two young couples. One of the guys played by Rainn Wilson. But yeah, two men and two women, two couples are on their way. I think they're on their way home for the holidays, or they're vacationing or something. They're going somewhere. It's not really important. But anyway, they stop by like a gas station type thing. Which is a place called Spaulding. It's run by Captain Spaulding, who's a clown, played by Sid Haig. And he's a very fun character. You know, whenever he's on the screen, all eyes are on him. He steals every scene he's in. Captain Spaulding, played by Sid Haig, is just a very, very awesome character. He's very entertaining to watch. I just love that guy. He's awesome. But anyway, they stop at his place, which is, again, it's like a gas station and a barbecue restaurant and like a really awesome. He's got all kinds of memorabilia all over the walls, like all kinds of really fascinating stuff. I think this is kind of like a thrift store too. Like he's got all kinds of antiques, like horror movie memorabilia. And he's also got a murder ride, which is like a cart on a track going through, looking at different murders, like Ed Gein and Albert Fish, Richard Ramirez, you know, probably. You know, Jeffrey Dahmer, all of them, you know, all those people, like serial killers and cannibals and all that stuff, all those, you know, horrible people that actually existed. So basically, the four people stop there to get a bite to eat, or actually I think they want directions or something. I don't know. They stop there for whatever reason, get gas or whatever. It's not really important. They talk to Captain Spaulding, who's again such a fun character, and he's so hilarious. He curses like a sailor, and his makeup's like all smeared. He's got tattoos everywhere. He's just kind of a trashy, deadbeat kind of guy. But he runs a pretty cool business. It's a very awesome place. I would love to visit there. Or even work there, maybe. It's a very cool place. I would love to go there. But anyway, they go to his murder ride. They learn all about serial killers, and one of them is the legend of Dr. Satan, to which one of the guys becomes obsessed with. He becomes obsessed with Dr. Satan and his macabre tale, and he asks Captain Spaulding where it happened, and Captain Spaulding ends up making him a map, giving him directions to the tree, like this weird tree, this old tree, I guess, where Dr. Satan's supposedly buried, I believe. But anyway, so this is the start of that's how the movie starts off. So they start driving, they go to the tree, they pick up a hitchhiker played by Sherry Moon, who's now Sherry Moon Zombie, who's Rob Zombie's wife, and she's in all of his movies. And then they're having car trouble, and she tells them that her brother can fix their car. So they go to her house, and they meet the Firefly family. There's Mama Firefly, played by Karen Black, Baby, the one I mentioned, the hitchhiker, played by Sherry Moon, Otis, played by genre favorite Bill Moseley, who of course was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and Night of the Living Dead 1990, Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, and among many others. He's always fun. He's one of my favorite actors. He's always fun to watch. He's always great, and he excels in this movie. This is like his movie. Yeah, Otis Firefly, he's the man, or Otis Driftwood, sorry. All their names are like named after the characters from the Marx Brothers movies. But anyway, there's also Tiny, played by the late Matthew McCrory, a really tall guy with a severely burned face, wears a mask, and Rufus, he's played by Tyler Mane in the sequel, but it's a different actor in this one. I forget the guy's name, but he's the one who fixes their car. And then there's also the grandpa, who's he's a very fun character. He's really funny. And I think that's it. I think that covers all the family members. Yeah, Mama, Otis, Baby, Tiny, Rufus, and Grandpa. I think that's it. Pretty sure. So anyway, they have dinner and they wear masks, and it's a really awesome house. Rob Zombie really knows how to build the mood, and like he knows how to do locations and settings. He knows how to. The way everything's decorated, the way everything looks is awesome. He's very good at visuals. The movie kind of plays out like a music video. There's some really weird camera, like there's some weird filters, weird colors, and stuff, and like weird angles and whatnot. And it's got a killer soundtrack too. I actually have the soundtrack on CD. Some great songs, a few of which are by Rob Zombie, like the actual song "House of a Thousand Corpses" from Sinister Urge was a good song. But anyway. The couple eventually find that the Firefly family are a bunch of psychotic murderers who have a bunch of cheerleaders kidnapped in one of the rooms in the house, and they're torturing them. And basically, they go through hell. They kidnap the young couple, and they just terrorize them throughout the movie. They eventually introduce them to Dr. Satan, along with all kinds of other crazy things. They just become caught up in this weird web of disturbing terror. All this kind of crazy stuff happens. One of them's made into a half man, half fish, because Otis is kind of an artist. He does weird, grotesque things with his victims' bodies. He makes these bizarre creations out of their corpses, which is just amazing. I love this family. They're so awesome. So yeah, basically the protagonists aren't very interesting, especially the two women. I kept getting them confused with each other. I couldn't tell these two girls apart. They looked the same to me. They didn't have much personality. The two men are a little more developed. Again, one's played by Rainn Wilson, but they don't last very long. And but the real stars of the show are the Firefly family. The villains in this movie are like the main focus. Like they're the ones who are really fleshed out. The protagonists are kind of forgettable. They're not very interesting. They're kind of boring. I would have kind of liked to got to know Rainn Wilson's character a little more. He mentioned he was into sci-fi and like space movies and stuff, And of course, the other guy was a big horror fanatic. He was obsessed with serial killers and scary movies and stuff, which was cool. So I would have liked to got to know him a little better. And that kind of brings me to the movie's main problem. I love the opening scenes. I love the build-up. I love the suspense, just knowing that these guys are on their way to their doom. I love the tension. Just knowing something bad's going to happen keeps me on the edge of my seat. I saw this movie at the theater, too, by the way, when it first came out. I waited years to see it. I heard Rob Zombie was directing a horror movie. I heard it was called House of a Thousand Corpses, which was the same name as one of his best songs, and I waited so long for this, and it finally came out, and did it deliver mostly. And again, back to my issue with the movie is, I love the opening scenes. I love the scene where they're in the car, and like Tiny and some of the other family members are dressed as scarecrows, and they come and they start attacking the car, and they capture them. But after the protagonists get captured, I don't know, not really much happens after that. They just get tortured and terrorized, and that's about it. There's not really much more of the story. There's a subplot where the father of one of the girls is coming to look for her. She's been missing for a few days. He comes to look for her with two cops with him. One is Officer Wydell, or Sheriff Wydell, and the other one's some younger guy, a deputy, I guess. So there's a subplot where they're looking at him. The cops arrive, and then they pretty much just get killed too. And the father actually gets skinned alive, and Otis wears the mask of his dead body. He wears the father's face as a mask, is what I'm trying to say, and terrorizes his daughter with it. It's a pretty disturbing scene, probably the most brutal part of the movie. But yeah, other than that, there's not really much that happens. It's kind of interesting when she goes down underground at the end and actually meets Dr. Satan and his associates and some of his bizarre creations. He experimented on like mentally retarded people and made them into weird zombie mutants. I don't know, there's a lot going on that you kind of, if you don't pay really close attention, you'll kind of miss the details, which I probably did miss a lot of the details the first couple times I watched this. Again, I saw it in the theater back in 2003 and pretty much fell in love with it for the most part. But again, as I said, there's not really much of a story. After the guys get kidnapped and then they just get tortured, not really much happens. There's just different ways that they get tortured and terrorized, and that's pretty much it. The villains are very fun to watch. It's particularly Otis, Baby, and of course Captain Spaulding, who actually isn't in the movie as much as you would think. He's not in it enough, you know. The cops do stop by and talk to him at his awesome little shop, which is a place I'd definitely like to visit. But outside, other than that, the opening scene, which is awesome, he's not really in the movie all that much. But yeah, as I said, the main stars of the Firefly family, Bill Moseley, Karen Black, Sherry Moon, Matthew McCrory, rest in peace. They all do a great job. They're all really fun to watch. They're all really cool. They have, their different personalities and stuff. This is obviously inspired by movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Motel Hell and, stuff like that. You can definitely see an influence there. And honestly, this could have been a Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Hell, just put Leatherface in there. Maybe have Leatherface replace Tiny or something, and it's already way better than the 2003 remake that we got, directed by Marcus Nispel. With Arlie Ermey, who was awesome. This could have been like the true Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. And I still stand by that Rob Zombie should make a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I wasn't big on his Halloween movies. I didn't think that he understood the Michael Myers character, but he would have been awesome at making a Leatherface movie. He would have definitely made that awesome. As I said, add Leatherface to this movie, it's already awesome. It's already way better than the other remake, and probably almost just as good as the original. But yeah, there's a lot of scares, a lot of gore. It's a pretty genuinely disturbing, very tense scenes. It's a pretty brutal movie. Not as bloody as you expect, but it's pretty up there in that department. Maybe I'm just really jaded. I don't know. But yeah, this DVD is really fun too. It's loaded with like menus where Captain Spaulding talks to you, the audience, and like pretty much all kinds of awesome special features. There's deleted scenes. There's scenes with Otis and Baby hosting some of the, the menus and stuff. Them talking and stuff. There's really some funny story about Tiny and a stump, which I recommend. I think it's really funny. Yeah, the family, the Firefly family are just fun to watch. They're evil, they're psychotic, they're bizarre, but they're like really lovable at the same time. I would love to chill with them. As long as they didn't kill me, or maybe to a fish man or something. But yeah, overall, a great movie. I give it about an 8 out of 10. It's really awesome. The Firefly family are really cool. Dr. Satan's really cool. The main characters are a little too underdeveloped, and again, once they're kidnapped, there's not that much tension. I think there's no suspense anymore. It's just like, okay, they're just getting terrorized. Okay, they're getting tortured. Not much of a storyline other than the subplot with the cops. So yeah, other than that minor complaint, this movie's awesome. I highly recommend you check it out. Rob Zombie is really off to a good start with this movie. This is his directorial debut, and I think this is like the most horrific of all the movies he's made, which is of course awesome. So definitely check out House of 1,000 Corpses, and join me in my next video. We'll be talking about the sequel. Alright guys, I'm Hellhound. Thank you for watching. Later.